Okay, so students, we are back with the new chapter which is locomotion and movement. In this chapter, we are going to discuss about how the body moves. What is the reason behind the movement and locomotion of the body? The thing that do that thing is your skeletal system. Okay, the system which makes the framework of human body. Yes, this system is called human skeletal system. Okay, made up of bones. Okay, as you studied in animal tissue, bone is a type of specialized connective tissue. Okay, with bone you have studied cartilage, blood, lymph. These all are specialized connective tissue. Okay, so today we are going to start with human skeletal system. So the hard, supportive and protective element of the animal body constitute of skeletal system or skeleton. Okay, the stiffness a body get, the hardness a body get, that is because of skeletal system. Okay, it consists of framework of bone 206 and few cartilages. Okay, our skeletal system is made up of 206 bone. Again, I am saying it is made up of 206 bones. Okay, so what are the functions of your skeletal system? Okay, let's see that. So first is it supports the internal softer organs. The internal softer organs means the visceral organs, they get supported with the help of your skeletal system. Just like this, I have a skeleton here. Okay, you can see this. So in this is rib cage. In this rib cage you will find heart, lungs, some part of liver will also present here downward. Okay, esophagus, all these things, these are protected and get support from this skeletal system. Okay, next thing, it helps in movement. Okay, now I am moving here. Okay, so this coordinated movement is because of three systems. Okay, main, that is your skeletal system, muscular system and neural system. When these three systems comes together and you start to do locomotion and movement, that is your coordinate movement. Okay, next one is it gives body its shape and forms. Again, I am saying that is your framework. Just like when you made a house, you will use concrete and that iron rods to give your house a perfect structure, to give your house a framework. Same thing in our body, this thing is done by human skeletal system. Okay, next, it help in formation of blood cell in bone marrow. Okay, in bone marrow you know that erythropoiesis take place, and that bone marrow is present in the long bones like your femur, humerus. Okay, all these long bones are responsible for the production of blood by the process of erythropoiesis. Next is that it helps in breathing tracheal rings, sternum and ribs. Okay, these all things forms rib cage. Due to that rib cage you will control the pressures which is applied on the lungs. Okay, it will give home to your lungs, heart, all these things. So it helps in your breathing. Next, it helps in hearing as ear bones, middle ear transmit sound vibrations. Okay, you're going to study that your both sides of ear contain ear ossicles. Okay, these ear ossicles are responsible to produce that waves, the hearing waves hit to these bone and it will produce vibration, and that vibration will go to your internal ear, and there is you have that epithelium, that neurosensory epithelium which send the transmit that signals to your brain's auditory region where you can recognize that thing. Okay, so these all are the functions of your skeletal system. Okay, now we are going to see one by one the parts of this human skeletal system. So we divide human skeletal system in two parts. One is axial skeletal part and one is appendicular skeletal part. Axial skeletal part is that part which is present center of the body. Okay, the center part is your axial part. Okay, while the appendicular part is that part in which your pectoral girdle, pelvic girdle, hind limbs, forelimbs, these forelimbs comes. Okay, so that is your appendicular, and that which is present in the middle of your body, that is your axial skeleton, and axial skeleton contain 80 bones while your appendicular skeleton contain 126 bone, total 206 bones inside your skeletal system. Okay, so these all are the components of axial skeleton, that is skull, vertebral column, sternum, ribs, and this is the part of your appendicular skeleton, that is pectoral girdle, arm bones, okay, then pelvic girdle and leg bones, means your hind limbs. Okay, so these all are going to be studied today in this lecture one by one, and at last we have the diseases related to skeletal system. Okay, so first we are going with skull. Okay, skull, or in Hindi we call it kapal. Okay, this is your skull, खोपड़ी. Okay, तो देखो सिंपल है, skull is divided into two part. First one is cranium or cranial bones, and second one is your facial bones. Okay, cranial bones contain and protect your brain. Okay, that's why it is called cranium box, in which your brain lives safely. The impact, when it is goes impact hit your head, it first have to face these bones, then that impact goes to your brain. So it is a protective covering towards your brain. So this cranium, the part of the skull, cranium, contains 8 bones. Okay, 2 parietal, 1 frontal, 1 ethmoid, 1 sphenoid, 2 temporal, 1 occipital. Okay, so let's see one by one these bones in this model. Okay, so first we have parietal bone. Parietal bone are those bone which is present side. Okay, side by side. These both bones are parietal bones, and they are 2 in number. Then we have frontal bone, the front bone. Okay, जिसको अपन forehead बोलते हैं, महता बोलते हैं. Okay, the forehead bone is your frontal bone. Okay, and it is 1 in number. Okay, then we will go to occipital. Okay, the backside bone of your skull, the backside bone of your cranium is the occipital bone. Okay, then we have temporal bone. Temporal bone present here above the cheek region. Okay, or you can say the ear region, near the ear region, the bone of skull which is present the ear, near the ear, that is your temporal bone, and again it is 2 in number. Okay, now we have 2 internal cranial bone which is present inside the cranium, that is ethmoid, and second one is sphenoid. Okay, ethmoid is present nearby your nasal bone. Okay, nearby the deep area of nasal bone, it is by ethmoid. Okay, it is present nearby your nasal, deep inside the nasal bone area. Then we have sphenoid bone. It is a special bone. This sphenoid bone contains your pituitary gland, and the cavity of this sphenoid bone in which your pituitary gland is present, that thing is called sella turcica. Okay, again I am saying, जो तुम्हारी ये स्पिनॉइड बोन होती है, उसके अंदर एक गुफा नोमी केव होती है, that cave is your sella turcica. The cavity of sphenoid bone is called sella turcica, in which you find pituitary gland. Okay, so these all are the cranial bones. Okay, 8 in number, 2 parietal, 1 frontal, 1 ethmoid, 1 sphenoid, 2 temporal, and 1 ethmoid, total 8. So it is the bone framework of the head. The skull composed of the following set of bones. First we have cranial bones. Cranium is the skeleton of the head. It is the outer protective covering of the brain. It is made up of 8 cranial bones. Okay, next we have facial bones. Okay, now the part of the face. Okay, ये वाला part. Hello. This वाला part. Okay, this facial bone. Okay, जो तुम्हारा मुखड़ा बनाती, जो the bones which make your beautiful face, that are the facial bones, and one by one we are going to see these 14 facial bones. Okay, so first we have nasal bones, which is 2 in number, and it is present somewhere here. Okay, next one is your palatine bone. You cannot see here, but by you seeing, if I make this skeleton sit like this. Okay, now this bone, okay, this bone, you can feel it. Okay, that is your hard palatine bone. Okay, which makes your hard palate. Okay, in this image you can see that this is palatine bone. Okay, and it is again 2 in number. Then you have lacrimal bone. Okay, lacrimal bone is inside the eyeball region. Okay, here you will find lacrimal bone. Okay, inside the skull region this region, okay, of your eyes. This is your lacrimal bone region. Okay, nasal bone and lacrimal bone, they are present nearby. Outside you find nasal bone, and inside you will find lacrimal bone. Next is your zygomatic bone, which is again 2 in number, that forms your cheek, which we also call cheekbone. Okay, this one, this is your zygomatic bone, which forms your cheek, which also called as your cheekbone. Okay, then you have maxilla. Okay, the upper teeth region. Okay, where the upper teeth lies, that is maxilla. The upper jaw. Okay, that is your maxilla. It is again 2. Okay, then we have mandible, single bone. Strongest bone in your skull is mandible. Again I am saying, strongest bone in the skull is mandible, and it is single bone. Okay, next is vomer. It is present inside in the center of your nose. Okay, when you go straight center inside the nose, you will find vomer. Okay, and it is also single. And at last you have inferior nasal concave, which is again 2. It is present basal area of your nasal septum. In the basal area of your nasal septum, you will find inferior nasal concave. Okay, so these all are your facial bones, which is 14 in number. Okay, nasal bone, which is present here on your nasal side. Okay, 2 in number. Palatine bone here. Okay, 2 in number. Then you have lacrimal, 2 in number, present behind your nasal bone. Okay, you can say behind or inferior to your nasal bone. Then zygomatic bone, which forms your cheek. Okay, the cheek dominance which is coming on your cheek, it is because of this zygomatic bone. Next one is maxilla, that forms your upper jaw. Okay, and mandible, lower jaw, and the strongest bone of your skull is mandible. Next one is vomer, that is single again. Okay, and inferior nasal concha, it is present inside your nasal sanctum. Okay, so these all are your 14 facial bones. Okay, ear ossicles. Okay, next, ear ossicles, that is also part of your skull. Ear ossicles, 6 in number, 3 in this ear, 3 in this ear. Again I am saying, it is 6 in number, 3 in this ear, 3 in this ear. Okay, ear ossicle are also known as auditory ossicle. They are 3 bones present in the middle part of human ear. This 3 is for single ear, and in double, both ear, it is 6. Okay, next, so there are a total 6 ear ossicle in the body. The ear ossicle are 3 of the smallest bone in the human body. Okay, 3 ear ossicle are the smallest bone of your body, and in which your stapes is the smallest bone of your body. Okay, mind my words, that ear ossicles are the smallest bones of your body. In that 3 ear ossicles, stapes is the smallest bone of your body, or you can say in count, in total, that stapes is the smallest bone of your body. Okay, so this is your ear ossicle, ear bone arrangement. This is your malleus, this is your incus, and this is your stapes. Okay, when sound vibration comes, this will hit this, and this will forward the vibration to stapes, and stapes send that vibration to your internal ear. In internal ear you have auditory nerve. Okay, that auditory nerve send the signals to the auditory section of your cerebrum. Okay, where your mind, your cerebrum accomplish or decode the language, and you start to recognize what the person is saying. Okay, next one is your hyoid bone. Okay, hyoid bone, it is also part of skull. Okay, it is U in the shape. Okay, the shape of hyoid bone is U. Next, it is present at the base of the buccal cavity, above the larynx. Okay, this area of your neck. Okay, where the neck starts, this is your hyoid bone region. Okay, next, it is the only bone that is not in contact with any other bone. Okay, that is the special feature of hyoid bone, that it is not in contact with any other bone of the body. Every bone in your body have the connection with each others. Okay, if I talk about humerus, radius, ulna, then they are connected to each other in forming a joint. Okay, if I talk about that parietal, frontal, zygomatic bones, they are joined to each other by the help of suture. But this hyoid bone, this bone does not have any attachment with other bones. Okay, it is freely present inside your skeletal system. Okay, then it is also known as tongue bone. Okay, because it is present just below the tongue region. Okay, your tongue lies here. When you put the tongue down, it will rise here. So it is present downwards to here. Okay, next it acts a point of attachment for certain tongue muscles and the floor of the mouth. Okay, hypoglossus, okay, glossopharyngeal, these different muscles, hypoglossal muscle, okay, that telangoglossus muscle, okay, these are different muscles which is present inside your mouth, which supplies your tongue, which controls the movement of your tongue. It is attached to this bone. Okay, so this is your hyoid bone, and these all facial bone, your facial bone, your cranium, ear ossicle, hyoid, these all together come and make your skull. Okay, next we have mnemonics. Mnemonics, how you remember the name. Okay, so for the brain of cranium, the mnemonic is fluffy puppies on every third street. Fluffy puppies on every third street. Fluffy puppies on every third street. Okay, F for facial, P for parietal, O for occipital, E for ethmoid, T for temporal, and S for sphenoid. That is the mnemonic to remember cranial bones. Again I am saying fluffy puppies on every third street, in which F is your frontal, P is parietal, O is occipital, E is ethmoid, T is temporal, and S is sphenoid. Okay, next we have mnemonics to recognize bones of face. Okay, it is Victor cannot make my pet zebra laugh. Okay, again I am saying Victor cannot make my pet zebra laugh. Victor cannot make my pet zebra laugh, in which V is vomer, C is your inferior nasal concave, that concave bone, okay, N is your nasal bone, M is maxilla, second M is mandible, then P is palatine, Z is zygomatic, and L is lacrimal. Okay, so these are the mnemonics by which you can remember the names of facial bones and cranial bones. Okay, now next part is condyles, which is present inside your skull. Okay, so based on the number of articulation, skulls are of two types: monocondylic and dicondylic. Monocondylic means occipital bone having single condyle, having single elongation, while dicondylic means that your occipital bone having two condyles, that is present in us, in humans. Okay, two occipital condyle, example human. One occipital condyle, example birds and reptiles. Birds and reptiles are monocondylic animals, while amphibians and mammals are dicondylic animals. Okay, so you can find here one occipital condyle is only present in birds, and in human you will find two occipital condyles. Okay, you can see here also. Okay, in the base of the occipital bone you will find these condyles. Okay, in the base you can see here it is present, that is your occipital condyles. Okay, so occipital condyles are bony articulation that are projections of the occipital bone. Okay, occipital condyle are nothing, they are the projections of your occipital bone which get embedded in your vertebral column part of cervical vertebrae. Okay, cervical vertebrae में embedded हो जाते हैं vertebral column के. Okay, next human have dicondylic skull. In the posterior end there are these two rounded occipital condyles, they attach with the first vertebrae. Okay, the first vertebrae of human vertebrae, that is your atlas, has been bind with these occipital condyle and make a joint. Okay, Next we have vertebral column, reed ki haddi. Okay, the bone which makes you in the get erect position, the bone which is make you stand still, that is vertebral column. Okay, so vertebral column is divided into 5 parts. Okay, 5 parts are there in vertebral column, that is your cervical, thoracic, lumbar, sacrum, coccyx. Okay, again I am saying cervical, thoracic, lumbar, sacrum, coccyx. Okay, these are the 5 parts of your vertebral column which contain different number of bones, and we have the formula for that. That is your C7 T12 L5 S5 C4. This is the vertebral column formula. Okay, C7 T12 L5 S5 in bracket C4 in bracket. The meaning of bracket of S and C is that they are fused. Okay, they are fused. And when we get the total of that, 7 plus 12 plus 5 plus that is 1, okay, and 4, then the total will get 26. Okay, 26. But if they get free, then the total of vertebral column become 33. Okay, 7 plus 5, that is your 24, and this is 1 and 1, 26. That is your this, and if that get free, then it will come 33. Okay, next, the vertebral column of backbone is curved and lies dorsally on your body. Okay, dorsally, this side is dorsal side. On the dorsal side, you will find this bone. Okay, it comprises 26 series arrangement of unit called vertebrae. A single unit of vertebral column is called vertebrae. You can see here a single bone. Okay, a single bone of vertebral column is called vertebrae. Okay, a single bone of vertebral column is called vertebrae. Okay, next, extend from base of the skull and form the framework of your trunk. Okay, trunk को framework provide करती है. It will make your body straight. Okay, straight खड़ी रहे body, ऐसे लटक ना जाए. Okay, it will make your body stand still. It does not make your body fall. Okay, next function, it bears the body weight in the standing position and while the body in the motion. Okay, it protects the spinal cord. In the between of this vertebral column, spinal cord runs. Okay, it is an hollow tube like structure. You can see here it is hollow. Inside this spinal cord runs. Okay, next, it serves as a point of attachment to the ribs. Okay, ribs get attached on this side. The part of true ribs and the false ribs get attached on this part of the vertebral column by the help of cartilage. Okay, so one by one we are going to see these vertebrae. The component of vertebral column is not vertebrae. The anterior with the large disc like flattened part of the known as centrum. Okay, if I take one vertebrae out and the central part, the large part, is called centrum or body. Okay, then the posterior part portion of known as neural arch. Okay, this posterior, the back part, okay, is called neural arch, because from this arch spinal cord will come out. Okay, ये देखो ऐसे spinal cord निकलती है इसमें से. You will find it. आ गया पेन. This is spinal cord coming out. Okay, next, the posterior portion is known as neural arch. The neural arch forms a hole known as vertebral foramen. This hole, okay, the hole from which your spinal cord runs, that hole is called vertebral foramen. Okay, next the 24 vertebral foramens together forms a vertebral canal or neural canal. The spinal cord passes through this neural canal. Okay, like this: vertebrae number 1, vertebrae number 2, vertebrae 3 number 3, 4, 5, 6, and the middle of that your spinal cord nerve, in spinal cord runs. Okay, so one by one we are going to see all the vertebrae. So first vertebrae is your cervical vertebrae, that is 7 in number. Okay, and the first and second vertebrae have their names, that is atlas C1 and axis C2. Why we called C1 atlas? Because it bears the weight of head. Just like in Greek mythology we have one god which is called Atlas, and it is bears the weight of earth. That's why the name of this vertebrae C1 falls atlas, because it bears the weight of your skull. Whole weight of your skull is been coming down on side your C1 vertebrae, that is your atlas vertebrae. Then you have C2, that is axis. The name is axis because it provides an axis of rotation to your atlas bone. That's why you can do this type of movement. Okay, so it is present in the neck. They are 7 in number in almost all mammals. The first cervical vertebrae is the atlas. It is articulate with occipital condyle and support the head. The second vertebrae is known as axis. Okay, C1 is called atlas, C2 is called axis. Okay, next we have thoracic vertebrae, that is your 12 vertebrae. Okay, which is present in your thorax region. Okay, they are present in the chest level. They are 12 in number. They are larger and stronger than cervical vertebrae. They are joined with the ribs. Okay, they are connected with the ribs. You can see in this skeleton also this part. Okay, this part is your thoracic vertebrae. These are your thoracic vertebrae. Okay, and these are connected with the rib. Okay, dorsally it forms the dorsal part of rib cage. Okay, next one is your lumbar vertebrae, 5 in number, and it is the heaviest vertebrae of your vertebral column. Strongest and the heaviest vertebrae of vertebral column is lumbar vertebrae, and it absorb and it uptake all the weight of your whole skeleton. Okay, जो axial skeleton है वो इनके जरिए ही खड़ा हुआ है. Okay, so lumbar vertebrae are present in the lower back. They are 5 in number. They are the largest and the strongest of all the vertebrae. They have to bear the weight of whole body when the body is in standing position. Now I am standing still. Okay, so the weight of my body, it is falling on this lumbar. Okay, next sacrum. ये fuse है. That's why we put it in bracket 1. But it is 5 in number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see here. Where is my marker? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But fuse, single bone. They are coming together and forming a single bone. Okay, so 5 sacral vertebrae are fused, forming sacrum. The vertebrae are separated in the beginning but start to fuse during adolescence. The sacrum lies between the innominate or hip bone. Okay, hip bone के बीच में होती है sacrum. ये देखो. This is your hip bone, pelvic girdle. Okay, this is your hip bone, pelvic girdle, and in the middle of this you will find sacrum. You can see here, this is your sacrum, S1, S2, S3, S4, S5. Okay, but they are fused. Okay, they are totally fused now. In adolescence, in previous to adolescence age, they are not fused, they are free, but at the adolescence or after the adolescence, they get fused. Okay, next one is your coccyx, that is 1 and it is again fused. Okay, the 4 coccygeal vertebrae fuse to form the coccyx. Okay, the vertebrae separate in the beginning but start to fuse during adolescence again. The coccyx is considered to be the vestigial tail in human. Okay, means this thing 1, 2, 3, 4, it is the evidence that we evolved from an ancestor which having the tail. okay, but it is now not in our use, so that get degenerating by era. Okay, kuch hazaron saal, after some thousand or lakh years, you will find there is no coaxial bone inside our vertebral column, because it does not have any work inside your vertebral column, inside your human skeletal system. It is just like a vestigial organ of your body. Okay, so this is your vertebral column. Next is sternum, the middle bone which is present inside your chest. Okay, जो chest में बीच में हड्डी होती है, that thing is your sternum. You can see in this skeleton also. This is your sternum, this bone, which ventrally connects your ribs. Okay, so the sternum is also known as breastbone. It is flat dagger shaped bone. चाकू की तरह होती है, तीखी होती है, सीधी होती है, straight. Okay, it is present just under the skin in the front of the middle of the chest. Okay, the middle part of the chest, in the skin which is present in the middle part of your chest, below that skin you will find this bone. Okay, it provides the point of attachment for ribs. It is also protect the organs in the thoracic region and help in the respiration, because some muscles are attached to that part, and that's why it provide a function and help in respiration also. Okay, next is your ribs, which is the most what you can say, it is an important bone of your thoracic region. Okay, that is your rib. Okay, so ribs, they are the thin, flat and curved bone that form protective cage around the organ of the upper body. Organs of the upper body means your lungs, heart, thymus, all these organs are enclosed under this bone, this cage of that 24 bones arranged in 12 pair. Okay, 12 in the pair and 24 bones in number. Okay, 24 number होते हैं और पेयर होते हैं 12 पेयर में प्रेजेंट होती है. Okay, and in that 12 pairs you have 24 bones. Okay, they are dorsally connected to vertebral column. Okay, dorsally they are connected to your vertebral column and ventrally to the sternum, that I said previously. Okay, ventrally connected to your sternum and dorsally connected to your vertebral column. Okay, vertebral column, that is your rib cage position. They have two articulate attachment surfaces on their dorsal ends, hence they are known as bicephalic. Okay, bicephalic का मतलब होता है if the end having two heads and that two heads going to be attached somewhere, then it is called bicephalic. You can see here this. Okay, this part. They have two articulation attachment surfaces on their dorsal end, hence they are known as bicephalic. Mean dorsal end means the part which is going to be attached to your vertebral column, the head of your rib cage which is going to be attached with your vertebral column, it is having two heads, that's why it is called bicephalic. Okay, function, they protect organ present in thoracic cavity and the kidney. They also help in the respiration process. Intercostal muscles, they are attached to rib cage and do the action. Okay, so this is your rib cage, and rib cage is not made up of one type of bone, it is made up of three types of bone. One is true ribs, second is false ribs, and third one is floating ribs. Okay, and it is present between your L1 to your C1. Okay, sorry, C1 nahi, C5, T1, thoracic one. Okay, that is the area where your ribs are present. So one by one we are going to see that. True rib, first 7 pair of the rib are known as true ribs. Okay, see here, first 7 pair, see, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, that is your true rib cage, true ribs. Okay, they are dorsally attached to thoracic vertebrae. They are ventrally connected to the sternum with the help of hyaline cartilage known as costal cartilage. Okay, this part which is attached to your sternum, it is attached with the help of cartilage which is known as costal cartilage, which is made up of hyaline type of cartilage. Okay, next one is your false rib. The 8th, 9th and 10th pair of the known as vertebro-bronchondral ribs or your force ribs. Okay, they do not articulate directly, instead entirely connected indirectly with sternum and costal cartilage of 7th rib. Okay, you can see here your that is your 8th, 9th, 10th and that 10th pair. Okay, these all that, see, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 till here your true ribs. Now this is 7th rib. From 7th rib 3 more ribs come out, 1 2 3 8 9 10th. These 3 ribs forms your false rib. Okay, next one is floating rib, that is last ribs, 11th and 12th, these two. They are not connected ventrally to anything, they are only present below. They have connection below. Entirely they do not have any connection. Okay, so the last two pair, 11th and 12th ribs, are not connected ventrally to the sternum or the cartilage. They are known as floating ribs. Thoracic vertebrae, ribs and sternum together forms rib cage. Okay, vertebral column, ribs and your sternum, these all three together with upper and lower parts, okay, forms your rib cage, in which your lungs, heart, thymus, these type of glands present. Okay, so this is your rib cage. Okay, first thoracic vertebrae से start होता है. Okay, then it will first to 7, that is your true ribs, then 8 9 10 which is the part of 7th rib. Okay, then you have two pair of floating rib which is 11th and 12th pair. Okay, this is the part of your sternum. 3 parts are there: meandrum, body and xiphenoid process. Okay, and these are the 5 part of your rib cage. Dorsally consist of by you can see in this skeleton also. Okay, dorsally consist of vertebral column and rib. Dorsally, okay, dorsally means this part. Dorsally consist of vertebral column and rib. Some ribs are also there. Part of ribs are also there dorsally. Ventrally consist of sternum and ribs. Okay, भाई टूट मत जाना. Okay, फिर ventrally it is your sternum and some part of rib. Okay, then laterally consist of rib, laterally this region. Okay, then anterior consists of neck and clavicle. You can see here, this is clavicle bone. Okay, the beauty bone. Okay, part of pectoral girdle. It is from anterior region of your rib cage. Okay, and the posterior consists of diaphragm here. The dome shaped muscle, the diaphragm, make the posterior part of your rib cage. So that's all for your axial skeleton. Okay, in next part of the video we are going to discuss about the appendicular skeleton, the second part of your skeletal system, appendicular skeletal system. Okay, thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe the video and keep growing, keep learning with Tapasya and kabhi jhukne ka nahi.